Welcome to the Thundy Thoughts Podcast, brought to you today by the Occoneechee Lodge and the Camp Durant Ice Company.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Thundy Thoughts Podcast. My name is Dakota Cameron. I am your Lodge Vice Chief of Communications, and I am your host for the evening. Along with me, I have my co-host, Greg Kuntz, our former Vice Chief of Finance, Alejandro Reyes, our current Vice Chief of Administration, Mr. Jacob Labaza, our Vice Chief of Program, Mr. Trent Leone, and our Lodge Chief, the big man himself, Alberto Daniel. All right, so to get this show rolling, first up, we're going to move into some Lodge news with Mr. Alejandro. All right, Alejandro, what have you got for us this evening?
Alrighty then. Good evening, Occoneechee Lodge. My name is Alejandro Reyes Arroyo, and I was a previous VC of Finance, and now serving you as Gate Guardian of the Thunderbird. Very outstanding it is. All right, first topic: Warren Banquet. Warren Banquet was pretty much different from any other Warren Banquet we had in a couple of years. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to move all of our events, majority of our events, online. Warren Banquet being one of these events. So what we did this time is that we did a preview recording, and we told our chapters having a watch party to, hey, come watch this, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. And they did love and appreciate it. So with the Warren Banquet review with the live recording, we did plenty of things at that event, such as handing out awards, such as the First Year Airman Award, 100 Service Award, Roth Award, and so much more. Not only that, we also recognized our 2020 Vigil Honor Class. And speaking about awards, one of the things that we did, we presented was the Founders Award. This award is very, very special. I can tell you that. It is very, very special. With the Founders Award, it recognizes airmen who have given the outstanding service to their lodge. The award is also reserved for an airman who demonstrates that they personify the spirit of selfless service as advocated by our founders, Dr. E. Erner Goodsman and Carol A. Edson. Occoneechee Lodge has recognized 4 airmen as recipients for the Founders Award. Our first recipient was Parker Morissette, our 2020 Lodge Chief. Michael Glennon, our second recipient, the 2019 Lodge Chief. Our third recipient, Bill Davis, the Occoneechee Council President. And our final recipient, Bob Gamble, our Occoneechee Lodge Associates Lodge Advisor of Finance. Congratulations to all those 4 airmen who received the Founders Award. Not only that, we did the induction of our 2021 Lodge officers. Our 2021 Lodge Chief is Alberto Daniel. Our Vice Chief of Program is Trent Leone. Our Vice Chief of Administration is Jacob Labaza. Our Vice Chief of Communications is Dakota Cameron. And our Vice Chief of Finance is Greg Kuntz. Congratulations of your positions. We hope that you'll serve the lodge in this upcoming year. Now I have like little minutes review and all that stuff, but I want to take a quick minute talk about the aspect of how Warren Banquet worked out, of how it really was. With Warren Banquet, I think it went very, very well with how we did it this time, since we couldn't do it in person. And we thought it was the best option we could do it online. With video quality, it was outstanding. How it was very outstanding. So I want to give out a shout out to Dakota Cameron and also the tech crew who had to deal with that. Not only that, 400 views I put 20 views on that though, because I'm gonna tell you this: the video was phenomenal. It was a masterpiece. I had to keep it watching and playing like a bunch of times, even though there might be some little mistakes, but it was an outstanding video. And with 400 people watching that, the average of people who register for Warner Banquet is usually around 200 people. So that's very well and outstanding for that to happen. Pretty great. And with 2020 coming into the end, we know it was a little bit upsetting with the COVID pandemic happening, and we couldn't do the things that the 2020 officers wanted to do. But we did the best we can, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this year, either from the situation that we dealt with summer camp, with the enhanced weekends, Brotherhood Bash, and Fall Fellowship, and the online Winter Banquet video. Hopefully in 2021 we'll come back in person in our next OA event, and hopefully it will be better than 2020.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Here's the video that will.
I want to add real quick. I just wanted to say thank you and give a big shout out to the technical team for Winter Banquet, Mr. Ross Peterson, Mr. Scott Sublett heading up that team. And I also wanted to say, if you did not get the chance to watch Winter Banquet and you want to, it is viewable on our Lodge Facebook and YouTube channel. Please go take a look at that. It is a great video. It was a great night. Like Alejandro said, we're not going to send you into the full Lodge video.
Whatever happened to predictability? And the paper boy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. Someone about in a brochure. Then a little voice inside you whisper, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Thundy Thoughts podcast. I now want to turn it over to my co-host, Greg Kuntz, who is going to lead us in a Christmas movie debate.
All right. Let's get into it. So we have the Christmas movie debate with Jacob Labaza, the VC of Admin, Trent Leone, the VC of Program, and Alberto Daniel, the Lodge Chief. So right off the bat, our first question for today, Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2, which Home Alone movie reigns supreme? Who wants to take it away?
I'll take this one, Greg. I gotta say, first off, like Home Alone, it's just a wild premise. You know, this kid defending himself in his home from these wet bandits. You know, just it's a little bit out there. So like for 1 and 2, you know, 1 short kind of makes sense, but not really. Which is why I think 2 makes more sense. So I got to go with Home Alone 2 as the better movie.
So just to be,
You're gonna go with Home Alone 2?
Yeah,
That one makes the
Hold
least
on,
amount of
hold on.
sense.
Hold on. So just to be clear, Jacob, you believe that Home Alone 2 reigns supreme?
I do very much.
All right. Now, Trent, you were chomping at the bit to get a word in, so go ahead.
All right, I gotta go with Home Alone 1. I mean, it just makes more sense. You know, he's got the hometown advantage. You know, his parents, you know, they overslept, and it seems more likely that they'd forget him. And then Home Alone 2, you know, New York, how does a kid, first of all, you know, how does he navigate an airport at like, 8 years old? How does he know how to do all that? 2, how does he get to New York instead of Miami or wherever his family was going? 3, how does he not get like kidnapped or like get lost in New York without, you know, finding anybody, with nobody to help him? And then, he also, how does he get the money? He gets the money from his dad, but how does his dad not notice instantly? And just New York, that place is huge. There's no way a kid at like 8 or 9 or however old Kevin McAllister was would be able to, be that lucky and be able to, just survive in New York.
Very valid points. Alberto, do you have anything you would like to add?
Yeah, Trent, come on, man. You gotta think more logically now. The kid is smart. Kevin used what he used in Home Alone in the first movie into the second one in New York. So he had an advantage there. He knew what he had to do. He knew what devices he had to make. He knew what logic he had to think about. And yes, New York is a big place. I will admit that. But he used his guts and his knowledge of the place, as well as made some personal connections with the hotel, even a nice gentleman that helped him to know where the lobby is in the movie. And he used that to help him with, defeating the wet bandits and whoever they are around the city.
Also, I'd like to refute a couple points. First off, you're saying how does
hold up now.
Oh, sorry,
Alberto,
sorry.
were you done?
Yeah, I was done. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So Trent, you said that he's lost in New York. Like how did he not get lost in New York? Well, he did get lost. He didn't know where he's going all the time. He had to pull out his to find his uncle's abandoned house, which I get that. That's a little bit unbelievable. But he pulled out his dad's. He had his dad's stuff, so he pulled out the little phone book kind of thing. He didn't have a smartphone, so like it's 1992, so it's no. This is kind of moving on to my next point. It's 1992. It's no wonder that his dad's doesn't have internet connection everywhere he goes. So it makes sense that he wouldn't have been able to see his son take out however much, a couple grand from his bank account using his credit card. And it's just I think it's more believable than that. Also the fact that the whole reason he's in this situation is because somehow he meets up with the wet bandits in New York, big city. I get that it's a little bit unbelievable there, but he it kind of stems because he met them is the reason that they're chasing after him, and he took the picture of them, and so now they're gonna go. They got to make sure that he doesn't release that and make him go back to jail again, basically.
I mean,
but
are they chasing him?
Wait. So he takes a picture of them because he sees they broke out of jail or whatever. So he takes a picture of them. That's proof that they have broken out of jail, and the authorities are going to come get them. So they got to make sure that he can't do that. Also, they're kind of like arch nemesis type of deal because he kind of gave him a beating in the first one. But the fact that in the first one, they're robbing houses. Why are they going to spend so much time and energy trying to break into this one house when they know somebody's home versus they could go off?
It's about the principle.
They could knock off 3 other houses to get a bunch of stuff.
But are you gonna let a kid best you when you're a grown adult?
Sometimes you just gotta,
are you? Plus, how did the wet bandits? They escape from prison, right, or whatever.
Wait. Whoa.
They get
I don't think
to New York.
Hold up. I don't think the wet bandits are people of principle. They're really their whole thing is that they flood people's houses after they've robbed them. I don't think that's very.
But that's their principle, They do that. It's their principle to rob and then flood the house.
Yeah, but I don't think they really care if some kid, bests them with some booby traps. It's like.
I mean, but wouldn't you if a kid just keeps messing with you when the house should be abandoned? I mean, wouldn't you want to best him and find out?
I'd go knock off 3 other houses. It took them a whole night, and they ended up getting caught in the end, which totally not worth it. I guess actually I can kind of see your point. They pretty much had him, and we're gonna get him and rob the house and whatnot until the old guy with the shovel comes in, knocks them both of them out, and they get arrested. So I can kind of see that, but still, I think I just the first one not quite as good. The second one they go all out. So much more action, better traps, funnier. it's just, more likable characters. We really meet like 4 people in the first one. In the second one, he's all over New York. Dude, the pigeon lady, absolutely wild. Yeah.
No, I have to agree with Jacob on that. Yes, comedy, the action, they were all there in the second movie compared to the first one. First one dragged a little bit. It was not really on the comedy side. There were more hilarious scenes within the second movie. For example, the French lady, Marv trying to get with her. That's pretty funny right there in itself. You got the brick scene right there at the uncle house. That's pretty funny. The action wise, yes, I will admit some of the traps in the first one were okay, but the second one they definitely improved. Kevin definitely improved on that one for sure. The characters going back to the pigeon lady, that was pretty smart for him to make friends with her. There was Mr. Duncan, the toy store owner. I thought he was pretty sweet compared to the grocery lady in the first movie. That wasn't all lame. They didn't have that personal human connection compared to the second one where they do have connections and there's more emotions to it too, which adds to the texture and to the authenticity of New York and Home Alone as well.
Okay, I can see what you're saying. I mean, but they couldn't have gotten all that in the second one without the
Yes, they
first
could.
one.
Yes, they could.
Okay,
No,
no.
if you didn't have the
Objectively,
first one, you couldn't have the second one because it just wouldn't make sense.
Very true.
isn't that
You
how
very true.
all movies work? If you objectively look at them, they're basically not totally, but they essentially follow the same kind of plot where this kid, he's got to deal with the bandits, and in the end, he ends up with some friend. Like in the first movie, it was the guy with the shovel guy. In the second movie, it was the bird lady. Helping him out in the end. So if you objectively look at them with that in mind, that they're pretty much the same movie, I'd much rather watch the second one just because it's got the traps are better. It plays off the first one, which if you looking at them objectively, that doesn't really matter. But like the paint can scene in the first one, hilarious. But then in the second one, they step it up. He uses the same paint can trap. And the bandits realize that. They're like, oh, shoot, he's going to throw paint cans over the stairs. And then, he does. And the bandits, they pretend to get hit. Marv and Harry, they think they've got Kevin fooled. But then Kevin, I don't know where he gets a, 6-inch diameter, steel pipe, but he somehow finds it, throws it over, knocks them both out. It's just the objectively better movie.
I mean, but then again, in Home Alone 2, what are the chances that he has an uncle in New York? His house is under renovation. His house is 3 stories big, and he can get to it. And he finds all that gear there. I mean, the first one, he has the hometown advantage. He knows what's in his house. I mean, he even has a tarantula to help him fight off the bandits.
I mean, sure, it might be unbelievable, but the whole premise, I think it's more believable. The situation they're in with him getting chased down by these bandits. The whole reason for the conflict is more believable. But yes, I do agree. In such a big city, seeing these two, finding the wet bandits somehow in New York at the same exact time that he's getting lost and separated from his family yet again is unbelievable. But I think that's kind of the point of the movie, that it's giving you this preposterous situation and, revamping it with the new traps, better traps, and the whole this, that, and the other.
So
Okay.
in the first movie, they actually teased where his uncle lived. If you don't remember, they mentioned it in the beginning of the scene when they were packing up the night before they all left in the first movie. They teased it right there that they have an uncle living in New York. Now, yes, that may have been a coincidence, but however, he knew that the uncle was there. He knew that he could help. He could go over there and have that, away advantage to get away from the wet bandits. But just keep that in mind. They did tease that a little bit in the first movie, and they went off with that in the second one. So he knew he had an uncle there in New York.
And something else that's in both movies that I actually enjoy about both movies that makes them both pretty good is the scene where he he orders the pizza, or like the people from the hotel are coming in, and he plays that movie with the gangsters and he just scares them off. That's just hands down the best scene. And I think it's better in the first movie just because he gets them repeatedly. especially with the wet bandits falling for it. It was
No,
just
in the second
All
one,
right,
he
all right.
gets
So
more
let me
people.
call it right here. I think to summarize the Jacob and that Alberto, you like the second one because it really builds off the first one, and you believe that it takes what the first movie had and just revamps it and makes it better. And I believe Trent, you like the first one because it's original. And am I correct on that?
yeah.
All right. So we'll move on from that. We'll move on to our next question. Santa Claus 1, Santa Claus 2, or Santa Claus 3? Which movie is the best of those three? We'll start off. Who wants to start
I'll
this
go
one?
first. I'll go first.
All right.
Honestly, in my opinion, all three movies they're not memorable at all. I didn't like them. They weren't that
100%.
good.
Could not agree more. Could not agree more.
Exactly. I mean, it's just the whole thing's ridiculous. I mean, how can Santa Claus in the first one, how does he fall off a roof? He's Santa Claus. He has magic, okay? He's used to the snow and the ice because he lives in the North Pole. How exactly
His
does he
yes
like?
in when when Scott becomes Santa Claus, puts on the jacket and is going to deliver presents. Literally, the present bag makes him fly to the chimney. So how does it make sense that this Santa somehow slips and falls off the roof? You know, it's just
All right.
sure it's icy, but we're seeing that Santa is flying from the sleigh to the chimney. So where's the slip come into play?
Also, why did Santa take a pause? Why did it take him so long to get down the chimney? He's got thousands and millions of houses to go to give presents to people, right? So why is he taking his sweet time trying to go to Charlie's house or Scott's house or whatever? Why is it taking him so long to do that? Like,
Very,
Also,
very true. Very
also,
valid.
man, he's
he-
got time. He's got to go.
yeah.
He's got to get through the chimney, get the presents,
Let's
and
give
get out.
a chance for some people to rebuttal, because I believe that my co-host Dakota and that Alberto have some opinions on the matter. Dakota.
Yeah, I just want to say, Trent, Jacob, you can take your opinions and you will walk out this door that's right next to me because your points are just not valid. This is a quality Christmas movie, one of the best there is, in my opinion. You're forgetting the magic that comes with Santa as a whole. Obviously, he delivers millions of presents. And so that magic bag that takes him to the chimney, what's to say he can't there isn't some sort of magic that slows down time to allow him to hit the millions of presents he has to deliver? Or the slippery roof. I think we need to get you guys some snow boots and put you up on a snowy, icy roof and see how good you guys do up there. Before you can talk about how poorly he did, I think you guys you can't knock it till you try it, honestly. It's just a quality movie. The jokes are spot on. You got the puns in there, the claws, like the Santa Claus claws, that when he puts on the jacket, he becomes the Santa Claus. And the whole Such a Ladder company ladder on the lawn that comes from the Night Before Christmas story about a roast such a ladder, but it was actually just a ladder on the lawn. The jokes are there. The story's there. It's a high quality movie.
All right,
Yeah,
Alberto.
I have to agree with Dakota. It's a really great, high quality movie. That should be definitely is a classic for Christmas time and the holidays. And keep in mind this: yes, he did fall off, but however, it was snowy and icy during the time when he fell off the roof. And the problem about that was that yes, the problem is that Scott scared him that little bit. He didn't. Santa was unaware about Scott being there, in which most of the time the kids and the adults should be in bed at Christmas Eve. And Santa gets around the whole world all in one night. He has this little thing called a little. He has a little device that stops time, and when he stops time, he is able to go for himself in his sleigh down through the chimney or with the little bit of magic
Then
into
why
the
didn't
house. Hold on. I'm talking. You stop.
no why
Hold on,
wait
hold
no
on, hold
no
on.
you
I
say
am
he
talking.
stopped time?
You are
Then why
rude
didn't
Whoa,
and
whoa,
a
whoa!
bad
Stop
word.
why
You
time.
should not.
why
Hey,
didn't
hey,
should
if he
not be
stopped time?
talking.
Why didn't time stop for Scott and Charlie? That doesn't make any sense. That
Exactly.
doesn't make sense.
If time can stop, why aren't Scott
Because
and Charlie
because
in bed? Why
Scott
can they walk?
because Scott and Charlie were not aware of that power. They were not
Doesn't
aware
make
of that
sense.
power.
So only time stops only if you know about it. That just
How does that
doesn't
work
add
then?
up. That just doesn't add up. You know?
Keep in mind this: he has special abilities, and
Yeah,
he
but
has
if
magic.
you just said they didn't know about the time stopping power, and that's why it didn't stop for them. So if
No,
you don't
he
know
did.
about
He
it,
did.
how does it stop for
It
everybody
did.
else?
It did.
I need
How
to-
does it stop for
Then how
everybody
does it,
else?
then,
I
then
need
how
to-
do they
Nobody
wake up
else
and walk
knows
out the
about it
door?
except for the
It
people
did,
in
it
the
Hey,
North
hey,
Pole.
hey, hey, let's keep
It
it
did.
civil. Let's keep it civil, and we're gonna go back to one at a time.
Also,
Leave Dakota
also,
out
I'd like to say two things. Okay, so this for the first movie, he falls off the roof. Santa dies. They go to the north, after they've finished delivering Santa's presents. Sure, they go to the North Pole. None of the, they show up and they're like, the elves. It's like a normal appearance, like a normal situation where a new Santa is there. This old other Santa has just died. They don't care. They just they're just like, okay, what's up? You're Santa now. That guy, we don't care about him. He's dead. They don't grieve or anything. And then secondly, you guys are just talking about the first movie. The first movie, I'd say it's probably the most watchable, the most tolerable of the series. The other two, they just kind of go downhill. Like the second one, it's just like,
They drag on the series, and it just doesn't. It gets more preposterous. Like Jack Frost in the third one,
yeah.
just doesn't make sense. Plus, to add on to this, okay, I have a chart here that'll show you exactly why these movies are just not the best. All right, as you can see, these charts make sense. All right, basically, what they said is that the Santa Claus movies just aren't as good as like any other Christmas movie because they just don't they don't make sense. The magic's there, but it's just preposterous and they're not watchable really.
And I'm sure that chart's from an official source, right?
It is.
Okay, all right.
It's from
Just
Santa
double
himself.
checking.
It's from Santa himself. I have some connections to the North Pole.
Nothing to say in response?
I think we can all agree.
They can't respond to that. It's proven. It's a fact. The charts prove it.
Give them a chance. Give them a chance.
We seem to all be on the same page here. The first movie is the best movie of the series. Yes, I think to go back to the earlier point, I wouldn't say stopping time. I'd say slowing down time is the best answer. So that way you can't disprove it by saying, "Oh, why were Scott and Calvin?" It's just slow down time. It's
okay.
not.
What does slow down time mean?
Would they move in slow mo?
Like, do clocks move slower?
I mean, I'm not a movie producer. Don't ask me these questions. I viewed the movie. That's my best guess.
Yep. I would say it would slow down just the clock, really to milliseconds, in order for Santa to be more efficient on him achieving the yearly goal of getting to every nice house on Christmas Eve. Going back to your the second and third movie, what I liked about that is that they expanded it more on the other fairy tales, other tales like the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, Father
for the
Time.
the second movie, like they Santa apparently has to have a wife now. So what happened to the Mrs. Santa, like the wife of the Santa who fell off the roof in the first movie and died? Nothing's ever explained to her. When they get to the North Pole, she's not even there. So it's like, are they just making up stuff? Are they just trying to add stuff, or is this an actual part of like the lore, so to say?
Another thing. You said only the clocks slow down for time. What do the clocks have to do with the rotation of the sun and the moon and the nighttime? If the clocks slow down, that's just like the ticks on a number. I mean, that isn't really showing like the moon is gonna, night's gonna end at this time. I mean, it'll end when it ends, but like, if only the clocks slow down.
Hey Trent, we've been past that topic. We're talking about Mrs. Claus here. Obviously, she's probably off grieving the loss of her husband, or maybe just a thought. Don't hop on me for this, but maybe that when he falls off the roof, that breaches his contract as the Santa Claus, and he's therefore removed from the position, also leaving his wife to be removed from her position. Just a thought. She. Why is it her responsibility to stay there and inherit a new husband?
No, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense because, like, so if she's she's no longer in this Mrs. Claus contract. She just disappears. She dies. Where's she go? She's not there when they get there. The elves don't. The elves
She
don't.
shit back,
Exactly.
Like
shit
the
back to where
elves-
she came from.
When Santa, the new Santa, the Scott Santa gets to the North Pole, then the elves, they're not like, oh yeah, we know we know you've been Santa for a couple hours now, delivering the rest of the presents. We kicked out the other, other Mrs. Claus. It's like it's all, it's just it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
What burdened him with having to deal with that knowledge when he's still struggling to grasp the concept that he is Santa Claus?
That seems a bit very much like very very cold from the elves. They're kicking out the widow. They're not even they don't even they don't even grieve it at all. It's just Santa Claus. It's the Dallas Cowboys of the Christmas movies.
Whoa.
Okay. I'll get back to that in just a minute, but let me just add, some of these elves have been around for 1,200 years. Who knows how many Santa Clauses they've seen? They clearly don't get attached to the Santa Claus in the event that something like this happens. They don't have to grieve. They've probably seen multiple Santa Clauses. Now back to the Dallas Cowboys joke. We may be having an off year this year. That's why you could compare us to what you're calling is a bad movie franchise. But so let's talk again next year, and we'll see how that lines up for you. I get a good feeling that point will be invalid.
They've seen 50 to 60 Santa Clauses. That means all these people have died. Theoretically, they've had wives. Why don't they all they have is a snow globe on the shelf. Like it's just elves are cold, and it's just.
And another thing I don't get about this is it's Santa Claus and he's magic, right? And like you mentioned, the elves, they live for like what 1,200 years or something.
They live for a while, yeah.
Yeah, how many Santa Clauses do you go through in 1,200 years? I mean, because if Santa's magical,
Jacob just asked this. You're just literally repeating about what Jacob.
Yeah, there's
so you have no information.
They went through like 50 to 60 Santa Clauses or something. Because like in the one of the other movies, or actually I don't remember which movie it is. There's like a snow globe on the shelf for each Santa, and it's just like it's never explained where these they die and they just like kind of disappear. But then what happens to the wives of these Santas? Because apparently they have to have a wife, based on the rules of the second movie. It's just I think they're adding stuff to add. They've made the second movie to make a second movie, and then the third movie was just like, let's make this a trilogy for the fun of it, I guess.
My question is, who caught the original Santa? How did he lose the job? Like way before Scott. It just doesn't make sense.
Write a prequel movie if you want to know. That's not our problem at this point.
I think the prequel movie would probably be even worse. So I'll be all right on that.
Yeah, prequel would be cool.
Well, I think we have a good stopping point right there. So let's move on to our next question. Next question is kind of controversial. It's kind of a hot topic. Which Grinch movie, the original Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch, or the 2018 Grinch, is the best Grinch movie? Take it away.
I'll start with this. So first off, I can't speak to the 2018 Grinch. I haven't seen it. So I'm not even gonna go into that. But between the animated and the Jim Carrey, the animated, it's got the magic of animation. But it just plays like, right in the lines. It's very true to the Dr. Seuss Grinch. Whereas the Jim Carrey Grinch, I think that movie is hilarious. Some of the jokes, Jim Carrey just being Jim Carrey, he just brings something to it that where even though it's a live action movie, so the magic of animation is lost a little bit. He just expands on it, and yeah, it's not really quite true to the original Dr. Seuss Grinch, but it's so funny that I gotta put it as my number one.
All right.
I gotta disagree. I gotta go with the original, just because the magic of animation, you just can't beat that. It just makes it. It's just what makes it. All right, the magic of animation just makes the movie way better. And it's a little weird, the Jim Carrey version. It doesn't look right in my opinion. It has its moments. It's funny in its respect, yes, but the original, just the animation and the magic that comes from it just makes it way better. And I also haven't seen the 2018 version, but
okay. since none of y'all have seen the 2018 version, but I have, I will have to say it's more modern and it's more of today's world of the Grinch. Yes, it is animated and it's a different cast, but the the Jim Carrey one, in my opinion, it drags a little bit. It drags. I'm every time I see it, I'm always bored by it. Yes, it does have its comedy side and does have its times whenever it's good, but it just drags. The animated one back in 19 something, yes, it's a classic one. It's a good one, but it's pretty short. And I want the Grinch movie to a little bit expand on that. That's what the 2018 one did. It expanded on the animated original one, and it expanded a little bit, and it put in a little bit of element of the Jim Carrey one that were hilarious. But it was a culmination of all the two Grinch movies prior, which I have to say is pretty good.
Well, I can't speak to, like I said, I can't speak to the 2018 one. But adapting a 25-minute film into an hour 45-minute film from the original to the Jim Carrey version, sure, there's going to be some parts when it drags, but I think that it's just that doesn't matter. The comedy, the jokes, everything that Jim Carrey brings, like for example, favorite scene in the movie, gotta be the mail scene where the Grinch breaks into the post office and he's like switching around boxes, and then he like goes on. He grabs a stack of letters that he's like written. He's just like throwing them into people's boxes. He's like jury duty, jury duty, jury duty, blackmail, pink slip, chain letter, eviction notice. It's just classic. I didn't really get it as a kid, but rewatching it, it's just hilarious. So I can overlook some of the boring parts, and also you can't really expect it's you can't have comedy all the time, otherwise it loses its, you got to have, the movie's got to be like a little bit of a roller coaster to keep the excitement and to keep you laughing, versus if you try and make everything funny, then it's just a flat ride and it's zero excitement, and it's just a bad movie in my opinion.
Well, I mean, all right, yeah, but it drags on a little bit, like Alberto said. But like in the original one, the first one, it's short, it's sweet, it tells the story, it tells it correctly, it tells it how it should be, and it comes with all the original songs, and it just really just gets you in the mood for Christmas and like the Grinch. It really like it shows it, and like in the Jim Carrey version, yeah, it has comedy. It's like a roller coaster, but you just can't beat the original with it's just short, it's sweet, and it's nice. It's
Now
a
with the
good one for
20
everyone.
with the 2018 one, I do have to agree with Trent. Yes, that first one was pretty sweet and all, and it does show the story just as it is. But the 2018 one does expand a little bit on the Grinch, and also expands a little bit more on the Who's down in Whoville as well. Which I know the Jim Carrey one did that as well, but that one took a little bit longer than it needed to be. And I feel like with Benedict Cumberbatch, he played a great role in as the Grinch. Um, there was also some more comedy in there. They got some SNL stars, made it a little bit more modern. The animation was high definition, just like it is right now. Pretty great, and it still kept the same elements of the Grinch, like Dr. Seuss wrote it.
Well, I think that Jim Carrey did not at all spend too much time, talking about the Who's. Like, he was hammering down that the Jim Carrey Grinch kind of puts a spin on the whole Grinch story, and that we're like in the original, it's just kind of like common knowledge. It's not really explained, why he's such a miser around Christmas, why he hates Christmas so much. I mean, a little bit, but not really. But like in the Jim Carrey Grinch, it really drives home that the Who's are all about the superfluity of Christmas, and how it's such a bad, it's they're not in the right for the Grinch. Sure, he does bad things, but he, in a way, he has the right intention of trying to get them to appreciate Christmas for what Christmas is supposed to be. And the Grinch has that realization, which is why he becomes, his heart grows, and he, stops being the Grinch and starts being, you know what I mean? It's just, I think, like, it really, the original, you don't quite get that that the Who's don't really appreciate Christmas for the what Christmas is supposed to be about. Instead, they're like all about the what do you call it? The commercial Christmas, if you will. Getting toys, being who has the best house, who all these things that the Jim Carrey Grinch bring to it. And like I said, I cannot speak about the 2018 Grinch, so yeah, that's just my opinion.
All right. Well, we've heard some good opinions. I think we have about 2 more questions left. Let's go to the next question. What Christmas movie not listed is your favorite that you love to watch this time of year?
All right, I'll go first. It's got to be between 2 classics, A Charlie Brown Christmas or The Polar Express. They're just
All
both
right.
great, solid movies. Just really enjoy them.
My
What I
Jacob?
always watched.
For me, as you can see in the background, got National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That one's always a good one. But the one that I always think of, most fondly during Christmas, is one my family, we watch it every Christmas Eve, and that's got to be a Christmas Story. Just a good classic. So yeah.
All right, Alberto.
definitely Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That's a pretty good one. Has some good songs in it too.
All right, and Dakota, we'll hear from you. What is your favorite Christmas movie?
I'm gonna have to split my decision between 2. I'm gonna say Jingle All the Way. It's got Arnold Schwarzenegger and he's just trying to find a toy for his kid for Christmas. And then of course I gotta go with Jacob and agree with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Just a good laugh every year.
All right, awesome. Last question, burning question: is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes or no?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Would Die Hard happen without Christmas? No. The whole premise is set up that, John Wayne is coming home to visit his family, visit his separated wife, and that sets up the whole premise. It's got to be a Christmas movie in my opinion.
All right. Anybody else want to comment?
I never seen Die Hard, so I can't really speak for myself, and I never heard of it as a Christmas movie. So
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
should see
say
it.
no.
It's a good Christmas movie.
Jacob
All right.
definitely summed it up perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion on it.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Next up, we have the 2020 Year in Review video.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. But when you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry. Be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry. Be happy. Look at me, I'm happy. Don't worry. Be happy. I give you my phone number. When you worry, call me. I make you happy. Don't worry. Be happy.
All right, we are back here at the Sunday Thoughts podcast. Next up, we've got a little game for some of our participants this evening. Give me just a second to share my screen. Okay, we're going to play What is in the Present. Competing, we have Mr. Greg Kuntz and Alejandro Reyes. So the rules are pretty simple. We're going to show you some different presents, and we just want you to try and guess what it is. A big portion of the present has been covered up, so you can only see small portions of it. We'll give one of you one chance to guess correctly. If you do not get it correct, we will go to the other participant. You get the question right, you get 3 points. If we are tied at the end of the game, I will come up with a bonus question that will be worth enough to break a tie. We will have a 5-point question at the end of the game. If you were to need it, you can get one lifeline where you can ask our lodge chief to come give you a hint. We encourage everybody watching to play along. So here we go with a sample question. For this sample question, I want you to call out your name if you know the correct answer. You ready? Here we go.
Greg.
Okay, Greg.
That is the NC flag patch.
Let's see what we got. Ooh, you are correct. Right down to the wording, too. Very nice. Okay, Greg started us off with the sample question. For the first real question, we are going to give this one to Alejandro. Let's see what you can come up with. What are you thinking? You got some nice white strings coming off what appears to be some sort of green border. What are you thinking?
You want it's a very unique, very, very unique patch. One of the most unique patches we ever have. And it kind of looks like a piece of regalia. So right now I'm thinking, I think my conclusion is that this is the Chandler Steele 2018 Champion NOAC patch for grass dancing.
Let's see. You are correct. That is the Chandler 2018 National Champion Grass Dancer patch. We're going to give a shout out to Chandler for winning the national championship in grass dancing that year. Next question, we will send this one to Greg and see what he can come up with. You got a little bit of green showing at the top and some red at the bottom. What are you thinking here?
It's a little tough, but I'm going to go with Thundy socks.
He is claiming these are the widely known, widely loved Thundy socks. Let's see. You are correct. Yes, sir. We got a tie ball again going into the third question, 3-3. Back to Alejandro. What are you thinking here?
They're blue. I can say that they're blue.
Definitely some blue there.
All right. And it looked kind of like a cylinder. So I'm thinking an Occoneechee Lodge mug.
He's claiming this is a mug. Let's see what we got. Oh, he is correct. These are the Lodge 104 coffee mugs. Next up, we're going back to Greg.
Oh, I know this one.
What
That's
do you
easy.
got?
Easy money. Those are epaulets.
He's claiming these are epaulets. You got a nice navy blue material with a Thunderbird logo printed on it. However, that is not correct. Alejandro here with a chance to steal.
Now I know these for real. So these are your brand new Thundy socks. These are brand new Thundy socks. These are the navy blue colored Thundy socks with gray on them.
Let's see. Oh, he steals it. That is now 9 points for Alejandro and 3 points for Greg. Moving on to the next question, we will go back to Greg again. You got a nice blue edge of something. I can't quite tell what it is. What are you thinking?
I'm not too sure. I think I'd like to use my phone a friend.
Okay, he's going to use his phone a friend. Let's see if we can get Alberto back in here. Give us just a second to get him in. You got a blue. You got some letters up there at the top. Looks like an O maybe, and maybe the border of something there. You can't tell. An M and an S just below that. Let's see. Alberto should be coming any second now. In the meantime, though, all of these gifts you receive, you can purchase via the online trading post website. Please feel free to buy or purchase these for your family members or your fellow lodge members for Christmas. If you're looking for last minute gift ideas, this might be the move to make. All right, I'm seeing Alberto come back. Alberto, can you hear us, buddy?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking at a blue edge here. This is Greg's question. He's looking for a phone a friend help here. What kind of advice can you offer him here?
Okay. Oh wow, that one. Okay. Yeah. So this one was promoted last year. This was something that I wore on my uniform. And it was something that I was really hoping for last year, and I was in charge of. And I was pushing it, hoping it wouldn't be canceled, but it was. But I mean, Dakota, is there any more hints that I could give him?
I think you've summed it up pretty good, honestly. Greg, what are you thinking here?
I'm gonna have to go with the NOAC epaulets.
NOAC epaulets. Let's see if he is correct. Yes, sir. He got it. These are the 2020 Mountain to Sea Trail NOAC epaulets.
Yes.
Now, scoreboard is 6-9 with Alejandro leading, going into the next question. Ooh, you got a nice bulky red border here. A little bit of green showing at the bottom. What are you thinking there, Alejandro?
Those are some one of our brand new patches. To be honest, this is not really a patch made out of like a thread material, cloth material. These are very special. These are made out of rubber. So this particular patch over here is the Visual Honor rubber flap.
The Visual Honor rubber flap. This is guess. Let's see. Oh, he is correct. Yes, sir. He extends his lead out to 12-6 over Greg. Moving on, Greg, what are you thinking here, buddy?
I'm gonna have to go with the Mountain to Sea Trail patch set.
He's claiming the Mountain to Sea Trail patch set. Let's see. Oh, and he gets it just to go along with those epaulets he just got. He's now received points for the 2020 patch set. It is 12-9 going into the next question. Alejandro, back to you. What are you thinking?
All right, I know it's a flap. That's we got one part right. It's a flap. It looks different, so no, it's not thread. I see the pattern. Yeah. I see the pattern. I forgot the company's name, but I think we should not say that name because we might get, because maybe some person from that company might say, "Hey, you can't do that." But
what are you thinking?
This is one of our brand new metal flaps.
He's claiming it is a metal flap. Let's take a look.
Oh, hold up. I challenge that.
Unfortunately, your challenge is unsuccessful. It is a metal flap.
Ah.
And he does extend his lead out to 15-9. As we go into this question for Greg.
Yeah, this is a hard one. This is very hard.
It's a tricky one. You can see it's got a dangle loop at the top, some words and a couple numbers. What are you thinking?
I'm going to have to go with the first year Airman Award.
Let's see. Oh, and he gets it. He shortens that lead back to 15-12. Back to Alejandro for this question. You got some words, half words you can see at the top, maybe some sort of notch there inside of it. What are you thinking?
All right, so with this particular item, I know this does not go on your uniform.
Okay.
It goes on your car. So right now, I'm thinking this is the Occoneechee Lodge 104 license plate.
Challenge.
He's challenging it. We're going to do an official review and challenge unsuccessful again. It is going to be an
Can I
Occoneechee
challenge and
Lodge.
explain reasoning?
What is your reasoning?
Well, the license plate has the license on it. There's no license on that.
According to our official wording brought to our lodge chief himself, who created this, by the way, he created this game. It is an Occoneechee Lodge 104 license plate. Sorry, Greg.
All right.
Not quite your day.
I think it says the same thing on our catalogs. I think.
18 to 12. Oh, you heard it from the former vice chief of finance himself. 18 to 12. This is back to Greg.
That would be the 2019 Conclave Delegate patch.
You can definitely see some large numbers there at the bottom from our section 117, 118. Let's see what it is. He is correct. That is the Conclave 2019 event patch. Back to 18 to 15 with Alejandro leading.
Can I tell you that? That Conclave, it was the best Conclave.
Very good Conclave, yes, sir. Moving into the final round. Are you ready?
I was born
Are
ready.
you sure you're ready? Well, let's see it then. This one is worth 5 points. Same rule as the sample round. Please call out your name when you think you know the answer. This is worth 5 points. Winner takes the game.
Greg.
Oh, Greg came in first. What are you thinking?
I'm going to have to go with the 2021 Conclave Delegate and Trader patch.
Survey says he is correct, and he takes the game with that, coming in at the last minute to take the lead 20 to 18. That's a good try by Alejandro. Very good game from both parties.
Oh!
I want to say it was a lot of fun. Next up, we have the Merry Christmas video. We'll be right back.
Merry Christmas, Occoneechee Lodge.
Merry Christmas, everyone from Occoneechee. Great Christmas.
Hey, Occoneechee Lodge, this is Alejandro Reyes Arroyo, and I want to wish you all Feliz Navidad and a Happy New Year.
Hey, Occoneechee Lodge. I just wanted to say I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you soon.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Occoneechee Lodge.
And we are back. That is it for our show tonight. I want to say thank you for everybody for tuning in, and I want to give our shout out to our technical director, who is operating swiftly in the background, Mr. Parker Morissette. Thank you on behalf of myself, Greg, Alejandro, and Alberto. Thanks for watching. Have a Merry Christmas, very Happy New Year. We will see you soon.